Welcome to the dialogue this morning. Welcome, Uganda. This is Independence Week in Uganda, and this is the dialogue. We reflect on the 63 years of independence and look back at the vision of our forefathers who fought for independence, but also look at the trajectory our country is taking, especially at this time when we all look forward to a better future. My name is Prince Apollo. Welcome to the big show. On the show, I have Dr. Gerard Werihe Wanzala. I have Richard Baguma Tinkasimire. Those are resident panelists, but our special guest this morning is Honorable Uwaswarule, a former legislator, but also a senior citizen. You will have an opportunity to make your comment, be part of the discussion, but also the presidential campaigns have been running for now 2 weeks. We also make a comment on how the whole exercise is progressing. I take the honor now to introduce to you Dr. Werihe Wanzala. How was it? How is the Independence Week unfolding?
Good morning, our esteemed viewers. I'm happy to be here, and congratulations upon reaching the 23rd independence. 63rd independence. Thank you for being alive and for watching what is taking place in the country.
Sure.
The week wasn't bad. Just looking forward to our usual engagement.
Sure.
I greet our guest. I don't know, we replaced the IGG this week, and you did not introduce him as a former.
He is a former.
I felt that was so important.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Doctor. Always a pleasure to have you on the dialogue. Richard Baguma, it's always a privilege to interact after every 7 days. Welcome to the show.
Sometimes we interact in between. But as always, it's God first.
Sure.
Yeah, I thank God for enabling us to have this opportunity, giving us the energy, the air we breathe, to be here. That I don't take for granted at all. I also thank you, Apple and management, for giving us this opportunity to come and be in front of people. Who are we?
Sure.
I'm well, I can't complain at all.
You can't complain.
I am happy to sit with the former first son.
Yeah.
You know, also he has many hats.
He can't be former. He is the first son.
No, always when you're first son, always first son. Okay, so yeah, you know, I will engage him probably privately to see how it feels to be the first son. But apparently the week was good. I am working to. I probably didn't tell you. I know I told you. I bragged last time that I am chairing the resource mobilization and part of the forums of the Africa Industrialization Week, which is coming next month, 17th to 20th. And there are two areas of focus: youth and women, but also thematically. It's innovation, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things. So I'm really trying to find resources to make sure that we host the 50 or so African countries that will be here. And so I'm enjoying the task.
You're enjoying. Good for you there. And Honorable Waswa Lule, senior citizen, always honored to have you on my show. Good morning and speak to our viewers.
Good morning. It hasn't been a particularly long week. We were supposed to be in political campaigns, but I don't see the heat. It gives the impression that it's like a training ground where people of the same team are playing around. So
is the heat necessary during
it
such
depends what sort of heat. Political contestation is heated, not necessarily in the sort of heat we sometimes get in Uganda, where people have cracked heads and people disappear. But the political temperature can rise because of issues. There are always issues in any economy. Our economy is not performing particularly well. It should be an issue on the forefront. But I don't think these issues have been tackled. It's almost as if they've declared an Israeli Hamas ceasefire, a sort of campaign.
I was hoping that you would appreciate the fact that for 2 weeks now, the campaigns have been non-violent to some extent, actually to a large extent, and you would be hopeful that we are witnessing largely peaceful election.
Oh yes, yes. That aspect of it, I said, is very welcome. Yeah, but the absence of that political temperature, I don't like the violence, and I don't encourage it, and it's actually not necessary in any election. So it's a welcome change. You also begin to wonder where it came from, why all of a sudden there is that change. It gives you the impression that maybe the propagators of violence now feel secure for some reason.
Oh, thank you, Honorable, and thank you for coming to the big show. Let's quickly make a comment on what Honorable was raised as we look back at the week. Dr. Wanzala, I don't remember what your prediction at the beginning of the campaigns is or was, but it is largely turning into a non-violent election.
Thank you very much, Apple. I think in the beginning I told you that yes, at some point it's going to be peaceful, and I can see that the candidates are trying to point out the issues in areas where they go that affect the communities. I saw at first they were focusing on national issues, but I saw the comments, I think, from the people there in the communities. I think it's paramount that when you reach a certain, like Rwenzori, where disasters, for instance, happen almost or every time it rains, then you focus on issues that affect them. So for now, it seems to be issue-based, less of name calling. I have seen even Bobby Wine, contrary to the previous campaign, he's trying to speak more about what he intends to do. But also, we say that it was going to be a campaign of money, and then also having those who have the money might are going to display it, like it's happening. People are already saying they are seeing new notes smelling, even from a kilometer away. So the money is there, just like we predicted. But I think this money is much more one-sided, because out of the 8 candidates, 5 are crying they don't have even the money to continue the campaign. I think about 3 seem to be oil. That's NUP, FDC, and NRM. But of course, NRM, you can't match what they usually spend. Because we are seeing the president is moving, the speaker is also having parallel campaigns in Busoga and so forth. Now, about the violence, we said probably it's the beginning. I will never trust that Uganda's election will end completely peaceful unless I have seen it end peacefully. Because we say that as they move to their points of strength and closer to the elections, to the election date, we always see a lot of tension, and it can easily happen.
All right, Richard, you said, I think last week, that it's a matter of time. We will see muscles flexing, but it is largely peaceful.
We have also seen some. it is not possible to have an election cycle where you don't have tear gas. It's just not possible. When do you want the stocks of tear gas
To expire.
You want them to expire in the stores? Great. That's not going to happen. So the one who probably has had a bit of a test is the Honorable Nanda. But it's just a matter of time.
It's a matter of time.
You see, the Honorable Chaguranyi has been very, very careful. But it's not because of lack of provocations. No, he has accepted to be diverted to I don't know through which banana plantations and coffee plantations and things. So it's a matter of time. But you see, we must acknowledge with happiness that it has been largely peaceful. We must acknowledge with gladness that has been. But it is not possible. that will not happen. And you see, so I have no fear to say these things, to predict these things. It is also something to question. The lack of serious contestation. Is it a good thing? And I gave the example of football, soccer, and the Honorable Waswa they brought it up. You see, we are going, in my view, into a league where we know which team will win. Yeah, we're going to a league, we know which team will win. So when you go,
there's no reason to.
Would you break yourself? Do you exert yourself? To what extent do you exert yourself? Do you preserve and reserve your energies for hopefully for some other way?
Are you saying that was not the case in 2021
No.
or 2016?
No, it wasn't. But also for me, I keep insisting that there is a way Dr. Besigye shapes narrative, even when he's not contesting. So I think one of the master strokes that one of the teams did was to take
throw
one
him
of the captains
into prison.
And keep him away from the dressing room.
Okay.
And you really deprive the team. So we are going to see these kinds of things. Finally, it's the money.
The money.
It's the money. The monetization. The monetization has had such an impact that a couple of people now, not a small number, get into there, even go to contest, hoping to be bought off. Yeah. Others are paid to contest. For me, I still maintain that some people are presidential candidates because of the lineup of the ballot paper. So if you don't see them going to the field, they already did their work of nomination. They did and are finished.
The assignment.
So they don't know the assignment was done.
I actually laugh when I see them say they are resting for 3 days. You know, if you're a serious contender, the period you have.
So it was very clear. There was no way they could marshal signatures. There was no way they could marshal the millions. There was never a way. So they were just there to make sure that the lineup on the ballot paper comes out in
They are on
and that was the task.
a concealed
And then people say they want to see them running around in the field now.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much, Dr. Wanzada. Thank you so much, Honorable Waswa. We now kick off the big discussion. Viewers, you will be able to participate, send in comments and observations. Tell us what you think about these topics we bring to you now. And first and foremost, we will look at the appointment of the new IGG and Justice AISHA Naluzze was this week appointed the new IGG, replacing Betty Kamya, whose contract had run out. It was not renewed. 4 years she has been in office, and here we have a new IGG in Judge AISHA Naluzze. And from the words of the leader of opposition, Joyce Senyonyi, who sits on the Appointments Committee of Parliament, which vetted Judge Naluzze yesterday. The new IGG is well qualified for the office, from his words at least, that he's well qualified. He has served for more than, I think, 10 years within the judiciary, and she comes with that experience perhaps to run the office. But questions also from the leader of opposition rotated around the independence, the environment the IGG operates in, that she may not be she may not act independently. And I'll hear from you, Honorable Waswa. You were once in that office. You perhaps know the intricacies of the Ombudsman's office. What do you make of this appointment? Could it only be a change of faces, or perhaps this time round we can hope to see things happen?
I think it's important to note that now that they have the contract terms, that and there are limitations. I think you can serve two times. That Vitkami has only served one term. So that is by itself is a red flag. I don't think it is because of lack of performance, because I believe she has the capacity. There must be some other reasons, probably related to the five-star hotel investors that she was instructed very clearly not to tamper with. So, which also highlights at the time when she was launching her what do you call it, lifestyle audit. She made a wonderful speech and a very strong statement of intent, which was dampened a few minutes later by the head of state, who sort of indicated that there should be restrictions on where and which individuals should be investigated. I think it was a wrong political message as far as I was concerned. But as far as capacity is concerned, and recently she's been getting a bad press in the social media for having investigated certain individuals. If you look at, if you understand the politics between the campaigns against individuals in high office, sometimes they are started to pave the way for the exit. And I believe she was investigating an individual or some individuals in the Ministry of Lands, and in the Ministry of Lands, and that seemed not to have gone down in, very well in certain quarters. Now, when people get worried about being investigated, and you find social media comments about trying to indicate that somebody might be carrying out a vendetta or something like that, it's very difficult to start an investigation on an individual if there's nothing wrong. And if there's nothing wrong, at the end of the day, you find nothing wrong. So there's never a good reason for anybody to come out and say that somebody is investigating because of a vendetta. Because if there's no reasonable basis for an investigation, that itself will vindicate the not only the individual, but will show up, will show that there's something wrong. But the fact that some individuals, and I don't know who are going on social media and making those comments, means that there's some concern about some of the activities in those offices.
Okay. From what you know about the Justice Naluzze,
Yes.
Do you think she embodies anything unique, and she brings something different in the office of the IGG?
Yeah, of course, first of all, she's capable. She's got a lot of experience in public office, and I sincerely wish her well and success. The problem that she's going to face is the same problem other IGGs have faced.
What is it?
Justice Mulia Gonja complained about people who are being investigated, running behind and hiding behind the head of state. So issues like that that impact on the independence of that office, I think is the only real challenge. If you take that away, I really don't see any problem that she's going to face. She has the capacity. She's well qualified. She's got the experience, and yeah, let's hope and pray.
So you still believe that Betty Kamya was a victim of witch hunt, and that's why her contract was not renewed?
I'm only pointing at the signals because there's nothing to indicate she did not have capacity. And 2 terms, why not the second term? So there must be some reason. I'm not calling it a witch hunt, but I'm saying it's a bad signal.
So what then signal does that mean? I mean, give out if it is what you believe.
Yes, then that's why I'm pointing to the new IGG is likely to face the same issues. So if the issues are real as the signals indicate, then it does not bode well for the office.
The new IGG.
Yes, or the new IGG, or any IGG to come.
Thank you so much, Honorable Waswala. And I didn't introduce him as the former deputy IGG. He was in that office, and that is perhaps...
Was he the first one?
Come again?
He was the first deputy IGG?
Oh, yeah, deputy IGG. Richard, you at one point were in these issues of anti-corruption. You were chest thumping and running around fighting corruption. But here we have Betty Kamya, just 1 term. She's contract not renewed, but luckily there comes in a person who people now think is well qualified for the office. What do you believe will happen in the fight against corruption?
I want to congratulate the judge for the appointment. I think it's a good job. If you give it to me, I'll take it. Not because I think that I am going to do wonders. No. I would, but if you give it to me, I'll take it. I would like the convoy. I think the salary is very good. The profile, is excellent.
I read from the papers that the IGG receives a salary of 32 million Ugandan shillings.
That is minus all the tax. So I'd like to get them too. I don't think I'm like Miriki, who is a communist. I don't know if he's a communist, but but I will certainly take it. But not because I believe I'm going to do any wonders in that office. No, I think my own thinking is like many other senior government officers. If you sit in a senior government office, even sometimes a middle level one, you spend not less than 80% of your time just trying to survive in that office. Yeah, you spend, this is my view, and this is just observation and talking to some of the people I know. You spend more than 80% of your time just trying to stay in office. There are so many forces. The criminal cartels and the networks and individuals are so prevalent and so powerful that it is their preoccupation to try and make you weak and make you beholden to them. Then they can blackmail you. And 20% is only when you commit to the time. You see, it's in my view, it's not just Justice Mulia Gonja. If you remember Auntie Miria, I think she was the first Minister of State for
Ethics and Integrity.
Yes. Matembe, the Honorable Matembe. If you speak to the first IGG, the one who was his boss, you see, they are very quiet because they are very private.
Augustine Ruzindana.
The first one.
Okay.
The Honorable Ruzindana, of course, is quite open. If you listen to him, he talks about this, he's on air. You all face the same thing. That every time you run after a certain individual or group
Thieves.
who are hovering, who are these birds which come around carcasses. They are like that one. I forget
The
what they
vultures.
call them. The vultures. Yes. When you run after the vultures, they tend to soar towards a certain height. Yeah, they all tend to soar towards a certain height. And these individuals have talked about it. The Honorable Waswari has only quoted Justice Obiago, but he talked to talked to them. So, if that height where they go still subsists, really, I don't think there is much. Anyone, however good, competent, whatever name you want to give them, takes that seat or any of the other seats, will do much. We have how many agencies? 9 or something that are set up to fight corruption. Probably this country has the largest number of anti-corruption agencies anywhere.
But the IGG's office is the constitutionally, entrenched office to fight corruption and other forms of abuse of office.
Yeah, but which is not constitution. They are all embedded in the constitution. There is where you have a direct article in the constitution, but there is where the others are under. If you are under the Police Act and your CID, or if you are under the what and you're an anti-corruption court, you are fighting corruption. So they are all anchored in law, and that's not the point. It's not about how many agencies or how many laws or how many strategies. I think we even have a national strategy. That's not about it. It's this, and we have to say these things carefully because, so that we don't get into trouble ourselves. Because the corrupt are extremely powerful. That's for sure. And they have ears all around, and they intimidate, and they deploy resources very liberally to finish you off. Because I've been part of some of these processes. Yeah, so because these vultures soar to a certain height, once that remains, then this talk of the fight is relatively disingenuous.
You believe?
There's one small issue.
Please.
There is another agency, the State House Anti-Corruption Office. The way it was set up and the way it operates.
The State House Anti-Corruption Unit.
Yes, Anti-Corruption Unit. The way it was set up and the way it operates, it gives the impression that it was to dampen the office of the Inspector General of Government. It is more high profile. It sort of, it doesn't appear to be conducting investigations, but gets whistleblowers, for example, where it's a sort of like a done deal. But at the time when it was set up, I got the impression that it was set up to dampen the office of the Inspector General of Government. And that also was not a good sign.
All right.
I think why it is high, I can take responsibility partly for why it is high profile. Yeah, because I was part of sometime a team leader for constructing the communication function that gives it this public profile. So part of the reason is that it is out in the public eye. It's not necessarily because it is doing the roles. It is because of the way we constructed the communication function that it is very, very strong and it is out in the public. And people thought that this was constructed with a lot of resources. We didn't have too much money. I know, but we had the expertise to do this. So we put it out in the public.
So it is its strength is perception, is in perception.
Part of
in
the
public perception.
was, yes, because I had been part of the mainstream IGG from a communication point in not so strong ways, but I had learned that, you see, because like the IGG itself had the department for education and anti-corruption sensitization under somebody called, I think, Tumwesige. I used to work with him at that time. There were two Tumwesiges, the IGG and this one who was
Okay, yeah.
And so my thinking was that part of the way you fight corruption is to go out and expose it, but also give profile to the ones who are fighting.
Okay.
I'm not sure that that's also helpful. Yeah.
Okay, Richard, before I actually cross over to Dr. Wanzala, and we give this issue of the IGG's office time, because we know that corruption is one monster that is blocking development and everything. Even when we talk about independence, at one point we'll be talking about corruption as a roadblock. Did you hear him say that possibly Betty Kamya was doing a good job, but rubbing the big people, the thieves, the wrong way? Do you believe that? That possibly it's why her contract was not renewed?
First of all, my own thinking is that Betty Kamya was also being politically rewarded.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think that it was only about competence. No, I think the only Betty Kamya,
Yeah, but what he did while
part
in
of
office.
head of a party, then coming on board to support, who, after being in the opposition very violently, and so she was also being placed as a reward.
Yeah, but what he did while in office.
So yeah. But you see, Apollo, we start from the roots. Yeah, if your placement is a reward, then you are rewarded for 5 years, and you are supposed to have reconstructed yourself. And because even if we take officially, if you get 30 million, you get 360 million a year, and you spend 5 years in a job, you've got something billions. So you are supposed to have been rewarded with all the other advantages that comes. And your 5-year reward period ends.
4 years.
So first, for me, is not about this. We go on about competence. So the one Gonja was competent. The other one was the other one who used to sing, the judge also. I think she's now at the highest level. The other lady, too. I think these are quite competent people. In fact, if you see, I don't know why we don't understand our principle. It's another crack. That job is also another crack. Oh. That is why you can spend years without anybody in that office. I told you, the Governor Bank of Uganda, they are cracks. They are assistant, administrative assistants. When you don't read this from the principle, you start thinking that they are so powerful and so important. Nothing. So that's
whether he spoke against lifestyle audit,
and what happened?
Whether he was
what happened when she spoke about lifestyle audit? What happened?
Doesn't matter.
A few minutes later, what happened? When she said, "Oh, I am investigating you," when you are being investigated, of course you go in interdiction. And the other one said, "But how do you go removing my people without asking me? Isn't that a legitimate question? I'm the one who appointed them." You know. So this. I'm not saying the job was not good. It's like you are not placed there, and you have to understand why you are placed there. Take your reward, and your time goes away. The person was not sacked. This person, the contract ended.
Expired.
Yeah, he was not sacked. And I told you last program, I'm telling you again, this person is going to be reassigned.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Wanzala, corruption is a serious issue. Corruption is a serious issue. We have discussed and we recognize it's a huge roadblock to development. But here we have a new face in the office. We expect is at the forefront of fighting corruption. You expect anything new from that?
First of all, Apple, I must confess that I did not know much about Justice Naluzze until last year when she addressed the public and tried to disassociate their family from their brother's case in Haji Obed Lutale, who is with Kiza Besigye in Luzira. I did not know about her because when I was reading, I saw in the judicial, I think she has spent about 10 years, but much of the time she was in the private legal practice. So that is my confession, number one. And two, I had an opportunity together with a team of consultants at the African Leadership Institute in 2022 to do a study on behalf of the three agencies of anti-corruption agencies of government. That's the IGG, the PPDA, and the Office of the Auditor General. And one of the things we was required to do was to find out what's the form of corruption here, what is working, what's not working, and then we were supposed to benchmark in the region and in other areas. I want to pick out a number of examples that we looked at. We looked at Singapore, we looked at Tanzania, we looked at the Rwanda case, the strongman, the Rwanda one, and the Tanzania at the time, we termed it the strongman approach. That where a head of state takes the lead and is seen to be doing something, no matter how the public perceives it, whether it is purging or not. And that was the Magufuli approach. And we saw, well, they say it was high-handed, especially from our human rights activists. But we saw changes. We saw that the president's direct involvement in arresting people, sacking people from the Ports Authority, from Revenue, Tanzania Revenue Authority, and sacking ministers and humiliating them publicly. It led to increase in revenue, rapid increase, by the way. If you go and see the study from Tanzania Revenue Authority, Ports Authority, Tourism Board of Tanzania, they were able to save money in a very short time and be able to feed, to pay for children to feed in school and so forth. So it proved to us that corruption is very expensive, and actually if you curb it, you are able to spare resources to do other things, like in Uganda, where we can put something in the budget for 10 years. Every year we say this is an unfunded priority. And if it is a priority, then why is it not being funded? Just say probably it's not a priority for you, instead of hiding behind unfunded priority, because it doesn't make sense for 10 years. We saw the Rwanda story, and I think that's the approach that General Muhoozi is trying to pick in the UPDF, because in the UPDF we have seen now fuel thieves have been arrested, jailed, and stuff like that. So when we looked at the Singapore one, is where anti-corruption was institutionalized. Okay, the laws were very strict, but the laws are also followed to the dot. But we found out that the biggest problem in Uganda, which Richard has hinted on, creating so many agencies to appear that we are very, very serious. We discovered we had the Directorate of Ethics and Integrity, the Leadership Code Tribunal, the IGG's office, the Public Accounts Committees in Parliament. We had the Anti-Corruption Court. We had the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, the police. Name them. We have Public Accounts Committee in all local governments in the country. But with this, we arrived at one thing that was key. Actually, there were about two. One, that for anti-corruption war to succeed, one, the government of the day must be very serious and must support the institution that is charged with fighting corruption. Like in Uganda, the law clearly defines the inspectorate as its operation, that it will be independent. But the questions are, is it independent? Is it even perceived to be? I think not, because quoting the president said, don't go for lifestyle audit. When Bet Kamya was trying to say, I want to go for lifestyle audit. You want 2 million. Where your children are in Aga Khan, others are in. You tell us how much you are paying per term. Where is the source of this? When she talks about going to the military, the president, no, you leave. At least we are still lucky. These people steal money and invest it here. So if we are lucky that they steal and invest here, so it must be, because me, I don't take the word of the president to be so ordinary. It is more of a directive, and she had to pull back. The other is that we were contracted in the same arrangement to develop materials to train civil society organizations on how to fight corruption, because Bet Kamya thought that for the war on corruption to succeed, citizens must get involved through their organizations. So we developed a lot of training materials for the inspectorate, be it budget tracking, be it a lot, audit, how to read audit materials and so forth. But sometimes this is good. It was a very positive initiative. But which kind of country and population are we talking about? This is a country with very low level of civic competence. If you have a country where less than 40% of children complete PLOE, and they drop out and disappear with no civic education, with no what, the level of civic competence is very low. These voters we are giving waragi for a vote cannot question you where you got the waragi that you are giving them. In fact, they will celebrate. Yet you stole 2 billion from their medicine, but now in election you are using 10 million to make all of them drunk. They will not question you. So that will also collapse, because as a country, you can't expect such a vulnerable population to be engaged in fighting corruption. So at the end of the day, I think it be whether you change heads, whether you change who, and also, which is not bad, but I'm seeing since the time of Raphael Baku and others, I think the institution is becoming more female. I don't know, because just as the government is becoming more female, cabinet and so forth. So I don't know the reason behind that, but I don't want to believe that it's just by accident. I think it's by design. What
do you think is could be the
you see, if you read the history, you see that whenever kings became
and why are you concerned?
more old, they had to move towards small groups of wives, of it's a method. It narrows. Probably at this time you don't need a man like Otafire or another to be in that office. Probably you may fight over a corruption case that you are investigating and may go public about it. So you need someone you call my daughter, my child, you come here. So that kind of arrangement, probably it's more.
In a nutshell, what do you make of these anti-corruption efforts going forward?
I think at first there was will. Today, the will is very, very limited. Let me just give you an example. There was a time people used to come to Parliament to appear before Park when they are sweating.
True.
When they are sweating. Winnie Byanyima's time, the time of the Agura Wallis, the Kule Parks. Exactly. There was a time you would go when you are prepared. If you are not, today there are stories of compromising leadership of some committees before you appear, such that what you are doing is basically for coming, okay, we can suspend this, and then we appeared, but actually you did not appear in actual sense. We have seen cases of corruption, because we know that one of the key reasons why Parliament exists is to fight corruption.
So Parliament is in connivance.
Right now, if you see bribery allegations regularly, and people defending it openly and justifying why they are receiving money from corners they don't understand, then you know that the country is in a big problem.
A big problem. And that's it from Dr. Jeremy Wanzala. We take your comments and observations. What do you think about these new appointments? Is it only a change of faces, or we can expect better results? He says, good morning, Apollo and the panel. I'm happy to see Mr. Rule on the show. My submission on the issue of the newly appointed IGG, Justice Naluzze, is that we shouldn't expect much from her, not because she cannot deliver. I understand she's capable, but the independence of the office also matters. And to me, I think that's where the issue is. Unless something changes about the independence of that office, we shall still see them same results, similar with that of Betty Kamya. I am Abel Kelu Akampumuza, and thank you so much, Abel, for always tuning in. We'll be reading these comments as we now plan to wind up on this particular issue. We only have 3 minutes, Honorable. Can we perhaps going forward recommend that the appointment of the IGG the power to appoint should come from somewhere? Perhaps, can that change anything? Because you seem all to point to influence, the office being influenced by the appointment authority.
No, the office may be influenced by the appointing authority. So wherever you appoint the officer from, that influence will still remain. So that's not going to go away. The other issue of the people participating in corruption, when you run an economy down and people are impoverished, then if you there's this story of was it Stalin who was plucking the feathers out of a chicken, and it was squealing and crying and whatever. Eventually he threw it down. Then he threw it some crumbs, and it started eating to eat. You see, that is a signal of something else, of how bad our economy is, to the extent that people now compromise their morals. People have higher values, but the economy can force them into certain situations which are outside their control. Parliament, the signal of Parliament as a corruption fighting institution. When you find senior heads of committees soliciting for bribes from government agencies. Now, when you talk about rot, it shows the extent of the rot, that it has gone into the government agency. The government agency is demanding, and it's not Chitu Dogo anymore. They are talking about a percentage. Can you imagine the head of a parliamentary agency asking for something like 10% of the national budget? Right? Just the implication of that. Just the thought of that.
That's how bad it is.
Well, I mean, if you ask for 10% from the, was it the Human Rights Commission?
Yeah, Human Rights Commission.
Then what do you expect from the Human Rights Commission? First of all, if they were to give that money to these individuals, then you can see that the Human Rights Commission would have been destroyed. Parliament is, forget about Parliament, because when it reaches that stage, it shows you how bad it is.
Actually, you remind us about that particular case, and with all the evidence, with the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission coming out and boldly saying, we have this evidence. These people were soliciting a percentage of our budget so as to pass it.
And nothing happened. Then go to the Mabati. Nothing has happened. If you have 50 people who
it is now who I see in that,
and you take
in that court.
So that particular, this thing about the executive arm and the will to fight corruption, you can have, as we said, there are so many agencies fighting corruption, but when it comes to the output is not there. Because when the results are there and the evidence is so clear and people are telling you that, you know, these Bavatis came through the air, I don't know where they came from.
They found them in my compound.
Yeah, but and they found them in a fortress, right? In a fortress where if you try to get near the gate, you'll be apprehended. So how they flew? So this the will.
The political will
is clearly not there.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Waswarule, a senior citizen, but also former deputy IGG and former legislator for Rubaga North constituency. My name is Prince Apollo. Richard Baguma is here. Dr. Wanzala is still here. We'll be going for a short break. When we return, we reflect on the 63 years of independence and interrogate the trajectory this country is taking on the independence journey. Let's go for a break and return after a short while. Don't go away.